about sentence variety. So why is sentence variety important? Well, it makes your sentences less boring, it gives your writing a natural flow, and it produces clearer sentences. One of the most basic building blocks of different types of sentences is the simple sentence. A simple sentence is made of one independent clause. It contains a subject and a verb, and it expresses a complete thought. For example, Mr. Potato, the subject, eats the verb monkeys. The compound sentence. The compound sentence contains two or more independent clauses, arranged in two different ways. The first way, Kevin, the independent clause, comma, but the coordinating conjunction, he doesn't like it, the second independent clause. The coordinating conjunction, but connects the two independent clauses. The coordinating conjunctions are the fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. The second way, first independent clause, semicolon, however, comma, independent clause. Eating rice makes him happy, independent clause, semicolon, however, conjunctive adverb, comma, he can't eat anything else, in the second independent clause. Now we're going to talk about the complex sentence. The complex sentence is made of one independent clause plus one or more dependent clauses. A complex sentence is joined by the subordinating conjunction. And they are always at the beginning of the dependent clause because with them, only with them, a independent clause can become dependent. They show how the dependent clause is related to the independent clause. To name a few subordinating conjunctions that shows cause and effect relationships. Because, since, so that, ones that show comparison contrast, although, even though, whereas, while. The first way to compose a complex sentence. Independent clause, because, independent clause. Independent clause, Kevin highly recommends eating rice. Subordinating conjunction, because they are thirsty. Independent clause. Second way, subordinating conjunction, independent clause, comma, independent clause. Because they're thirsty, independent clause, comma, Kevin recommends eating rice, independent clause. The third way, subject, comma, because, independent clause, comma, verb. Kevin, because he loves rice. Because he loves rice becomes an independent clause that describes Kevin. Recommends rice. Kevin recommends rice is the main clause, which is the independent clause in this phrase, in this sentence. Now we're going to talk about compound complex sentences. A compound complex sentence is made of two or more independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. It is connected by a subordinating conjunction that are always at the beginning of the dependent clause. Both coordinating and subordinating conjunctions are used. The first formula, independent, comma, coordinating conjunction, independent, because, subordinating conjunction. Kevin loves rice, independent clause, but, coordinating conjunction, his mom wouldn't let him eat any, independent clause, because, subordinating conjunction, he didn't do his chores. Because he didn't do his chores is a dependent clause. Because, the second formula, because, subordinating conjunction, independent clause, comma, independent clause, coordinating conjunction, independent clause. Because, subordinating conjunction, Kevin loves rice, comma, he wants to buy more, independent clause. Coordinating conjunction, his mom stops him, independent clause. So with all these types of sentences, I hope you can write with varying patterns and structures. Thank you for listening.